All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Rico Kilo here. Of course, this is another Monday training call. And, every Monday we bring to you, of course, certain topics that can help you understand and, of course, help you build to grow your business. And, last Saturday, we basically covered about the compensation plan. We talked about the retail profit. We talked about, of course, our wholesale profit, the progression when you join into the business, right? So the moment that you become a new partner with Opulence Global, by the way, I just like to congratulate each and everyone who become a part of this wonderful opportunity all around the world. I can see partners joining in from, in Montreal, Canada. We have a lot of LADEs, LAPs, and LAs who joined us. And of course, another side of the world, we have the Asia market. I also see a lot of new partners coming in. So congratulations to each and every one of you. And this training is very important because when you get started by becoming a lifestyle advisor, there's always room for progression, right? So the next step, there's always the next step. And that's one of the things that we need in order for us to build that momentum is to always go to the next step when you are at the LA position, right? LA level, LAP or LADE. What's next for me, right? So this is the time for us to discuss this. And as I've said earlier, when you become a lifestyle advisor plus, or a lifestyle advisor designer experience here in Opulence Global, what is the next step for you, right? So you have your products with you. The next step is for you to share the products to your customers, right? To your potential customers because that's basically the foundation of your business. So when you develop this customer base, then you will be now entitled to enjoying, of course, your instant high retail profits. Okay, so this is one of the things that we discussed last Saturday, and then through follow up and engaging your customers to the opportunity presentation, the trainings that we have here. Once they have their belief level up, then of course it's always good for them to encourage them to become a partner with Opulence Global. So when they become a partner, then that's the time that you get to enjoy the wholesale profits, right? So again, the wholesale profits per percentage here is high compared to, of course, the other opportunities that we see all around us. So when they join you as a partner, whether it's a brand partner, whether it's an LA, whether it's an LAP, whether it's an LADE, now you now enjoy and experience the wholesale profits, right? Up to 350 Canadian dollars. Now, by exposing your partners, your team, to the trainings that we have here, just like what we had in Montreal, right? The bootcamp training. And of course, the launchpad training that happens every Tuesday, then they will be able to figure out how they can grow their business, right? So by putting them into the system, then it allows them to have a wider perspective of what this opportunity is all about. And that's the reason why once a partner joins you, it is very, very important for you to expose them to the system, to the trainings that we have here. Okay? Because the opportunity presentation just gives you an overview of what the opportunity is all about. But when we expose them to the trainings, now they can see what can be their future, right? What's ahead of them. They can see how great this opportunity is. Once they see the compensation plan, they'll be able to see what can happen to them within the next year, within the next 3 years, within the next 5 years. And the more that they see how great this opportunity is, the more that their belief level is up, the more that they are excited, the more that they would want to go to the next level. So always show them the next level because people love progress, right? They want to see them, ranking up. They want to see themselves, getting up to that ladder, right? So this is very important training when it comes to, progressing in your business, rank advancement. What happens next if I become an LA today? If I become an LADE today, what's next for me? And of course, the next step for you for your new partners is for them to be exposed to the launchpad training, for them to be exposed to the bootcamp training. Okay. And now part of that launchpad training is by understanding how you get to the next level, which is basically how you rank up. Okay. From LA, LAP, LADE. What's step two for me? And in our Pathway to Royal Lifestyle Director, after you become an LA and up, then the next step is for you to qualify for the MGRS. And that's what we have discussed last Saturday, right? MGRS. Because MGRS basically uh, encourages you to, of course, work on your personal volume. Of course, you need to have your own personal inventory of stocks. If you want to grow this business, you have to be a product of your own product. You need to have your own inventory of products, right? Because as mentioned by our trainer last Tuesday, Rebecca, right? If you go to a donut store, you expect them to sell donuts there, right? You don't go to that store and then ask them to have it delivered to you through online. No. When you go to a physical store, you need to have your products there. So the same with us. When someone comes to us and we share with them the products, the moment that they want to purchase the products, we got to have those products available in our hands. Okay? So that's the basically the importance of the personal volume. On top of that, you also need to have, of course, sales coming from your customers, which is basically the foundation of your business. And then on top of that, you also need to have, of course, new partners joining you. If you want to expand your business, to grow your business, you do not just work it alone. You find like-minded people who will also partner with you, who will work with you, who would also want, to achieve the benefits that you have achieved, that you can achieve in this business. So basically, that's about the MGRS, right? What I buy, what I sell, and what I launch. So when that happens, not only do I have new partners using new customers using my products, I also have new partners that can work with me, that can partner with me. And the more partners you have in your business, the faster your growth will be, right? So that's the reason why MGRS is basically a very important part of the progression in our opportunity, in our compensation plan. So right after you become an LA, next target for you is to qualify for the MGRS. And we've discussed that last Saturday as well. Now, after MGRS, since you already have new partners working with you, then of course, now you have partners who you can mentor, whom you can teach, whom you can help to also go up to the next level, right? So when they also do the MGRS, they would also have their new partners. And then the next step is for you to work on your next level, which is basically the LD1, Lifestyle Director 1. Okay? So when we talk about progression in your business, becoming an LD1 is the next step. Now, of course, there are certain perks and privileges to become an LD1 when you become an LD1, and that would be part of this discussion. Okay, so the question is, how do I get to the next level? How do I become an LD1, Lifestyle Director 1? So the first qualification for LD1 is you generate at least 250 personal volume. Okay, so 250 personal volume to become an LD1. Now, before it used to be 150 PV, but now it's 250 PV. Why the need to become 250 PV? Because remember, there are certain perks and privileges in our compensation plan that you need to have you can enjoy by having a 250 PV, right? Like the variance bonus, like the commission boost, right? And of course, that also includes your team commissions. It already includes your team commission. So how do you become an LD1 is by you having your own personal volume of 250 PV, and then you have two personally sponsored, okay, partners, minimum LA. So when I say minimum LA, it can be LA, LAP, or LADE. So at least two personally sponsored LA and up. And then the next step is for you to mentor and coach your team, okay? Help them to sponsor their two minimum LAs also, okay? So again, if I want to become an LD1, I need to have two LAs and up, and those two LAs and up will also have their two LAs and up. As simple as that, and all of them are on Smart Buy, okay? All of them are on 150 PV. Then you become an LD1, Lifestyle Director 1. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions is there a time frame for you to become an LD1? Okay, so let's say all of this need to happen within the same month? Okay, so that's a very good question that I often receive, right? So this structure doesn't have a time frame. What I mean by that, okay, so it means that those two LAs and those two LAs of your two LAs can happen at any particular point in time. So meaning, I'll give you an example so that it would be clear. So let's say if I sponsor this level one on my left, okay, this LAP, let's say this month, all right, this today is July, right? Let's say I sponsor this LAP this July on my left, and this my level one LAP was also able to sponsor two LA minimum LAs, okay, also within the month of July. And then let's say this the other person, my direct sponsor also, this LADE on my right, I was able to sponsor them or bring them in, let's say, on August, okay? And then, of course, the two LAs underneath my level one LADE, they also joined within the month of August. So we have the left side joining in on the month of July, and we have the right side joining in on the month of August. Okay, so when the structure is already complete by the month of August and all of them are on 150 PV, then you get promoted as an LD1 on the month of August. Okay, so what if this right leg, okay, this LADE and your second generation LAP and LA, let's say, happened on September, and the left one happened on July. Okay, so basically, as long as the time that you complete the structure, which is two LAs, and those two LAs also have their two LAs, then let's say if you complete this in the month of September, all of this in the month of September, and all of them, okay, that's the only requirement for that particular month that you need to get promoted. All of them should be at 150 PV on the month that you will be promoted. Okay, so if that happens, let's say all of this happened in the month of September, let's say this left happened in July and the right happened in September, and then by September all of them have 150 PV and you have 250 PV, then you get promoted as an LD1. Okay? So I hope that's clear. By the way, if you have any questions, this is the best time for you to clarify your questions, because after all, this is a training with an AMA. Ask me anything. Okay? So that's how you get promoted to LD1. Okay? So again, to simplify, I have two LAs minimum. It can be an LA, LAP, or LADE. And those two LAs that you personally sponsored have their two LAs as well. Okay, so the two LAs should be sponsored by your level ones. Okay, so it cannot be sponsored by you. All right. So, but then again, if you have already completed this and you want to sponsor again, of course, that doesn't stop you from bringing in a new partner direct to you as well. Okay. So for the promotion of LD1, you have two personally sponsored LAs minimum, and those two LAs also have their two LAs, then you become LD1. Okay? So why become an LD1? Okay, why is it important for you to become an LD1? We'll answer that later, okay? So because anyway, let's get on it. Because when you become an LD1, you will now be entitled not only for the MGRS, but now you have the access to what we call the car club bonus. Okay, car and vacation club bonus. So the car and vacation club bonus is now, of course, available for our LD1s. On top of that, when you become an LD1, you also get to enjoy the variance bonus. Okay, so that's an additional MMI for you. What is MMI? Make money immediately for you. That's an additional incentive. That's an additional cash for you. Okay, so again, when you become an LD1, not only you are now growing your team, but you are now accessing particularly the car and vacation club bonus, because as an LD1, you can qualify with at least with $500, okay, car and vacation club bonus. And then also you can qualify for the variance bonus, okay? So that's additional perk and privileges for all of our partners, okay? Particularly those who become LD1, okay? So the next step is, of course, for you to become an LD2. So right after Lifestyle Director 1, the next rank advancement or the next step is the Lifestyle Director 2. Now, how do you become a lifestyle director too? Now, this is what I love about the pay plan that we have, is that you need to help your team get promoted to the next level so that you will be promoted yourself. Okay. Now, let me share this with you because in some of the companies that I have been with, okay, so whenever there is someone who will rank advance, like for instance, if I will be working on my next promotion, my next rank advancement, I will, of course, meet my team. I will gather my team, and then I will say, I'm running this month. So I would need your contribution so that I can be promoted. Okay. So the focus is on the one who is running for promotion. But what I love about this opportunity is whenever you meet your team, you're always focused on their promotion. You don't worry about your own promotion because you know that when your team gets promoted to the next level, it naturally promotes you. Okay? It naturally pushes you up. Just like in here, you can see here Lifestyle Director 2. Remember those two LAs that you have sponsored? Okay? So the way for you to rank advance is by helping those two LAs to become LD1. Okay, now how do you become an LD1? Just like what I've showed you earlier, right? So when you become an LD1, you already know how to make your two LAs become an LD1 as well, right? So if you have your two LD1s, okay, all right, so two LD1s personally sponsored by you, and then that's it. You become an LD2. So congratulations to you for becoming a lifestyle director too. And in this diagram, all this needs is, of course, your second level. Okay, your second level just needs to have two LAs here. Okay, so if this second level has each of them, these four, your second level, these four partners here, if they have a minimum of, they have mainly sponsored a minimum of two LAs, then it will promote your level one to become LD1, and then it will promote you to become LD2. Okay? So as simple as that, right? As simple as that. And again, that's what I love about this promotion is that you you work with your team. I will be working on your promotion, and the moment that they get promoted, then it pushes you up to the next level. Okay? So again, just to recap, to become an LD2, you need to have at least two personally sponsored LD1s. Okay? Now, here's another interesting fact about this promotion. For LD1s and LD2, okay, it can be on the same leg. What I mean by that is that those two personally sponsored LD1s, okay, lifestyle director ones, can be on the same leg. So let's say if this LD1, I hope that you can see my cursor here, if I put this underneath here, so they're on both on the same leg, right? On the same left leg. So if those two LD1s are on the same left leg and they are sponsored by you, then you can also become an LD2. Okay? So that's the beauty about our compensation plan. Because there are times, and even a lot of times, that your My5 or your core upline will say to you, build on one leg first. Build on one leg first. That's what we call power legging. Okay? That's what we call strengthening your leg, right? So that when the time comes, all you have to do is to work on the other leg. Okay, so that can also happen here if you have your two personally sponsored lifestyle director ones on one side, on just one side, all right, either left or either right, that you can also be promoted to lifestyle director two. Now, why is it important for you to become a lifestyle director two? Of course, as I have said earlier, in our pathway to Royal Lifestyle Director, I call that um, uh, my success roadmap. Okay, my roadmap to success. Okay, so when you become a lifestyle director too, of course, you will receive a higher car and vacation club bonus. So from 500 for the LD1, you can now achieve $750 when it comes to your car club bonus. All right. And then on top of that, you can also qualify for the MGRS. You can also qualify for the variance bonus, another thing. Okay. And then on top of that, all right. So LD2 gives you access to the cruise. All right. So the cruise is one of the most awaited events here when you become an Opulence partner as an LD2. Okay, so we have basically experienced that cruise, and it was really wonderful. The company also recognizes the efforts of our team, so that's the reason why where we were on that cruise, I was really happy to see the partners really enjoying the fruits of their labor, and it was such a wonderful time. I remember SVP Sanas saying to us, this is you don't have to work here. Okay, this is the time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and by meaning enjoy, really enjoy it, not just enjoy it, but living an opulent vacation, right? So that's the great thing about that. So how do you qualify for a cruise? I will answer that in a while. Okay, so by becoming an LD2, you now have access to that. So remember, as you get up to the next level, there are higher and more perks and privileges that awaits you. Okay, so that's the reason why there is a need for you to work on it, and of course it will allow you to it will get you more excited. Okay, all right. So the next step is for the rank maintenance. Basically, this is what is needed in order for you to qualify for the what do you call this, the car club bonus. Okay, right. So we'll discuss that later. Okay. And then, of course, getting to the lifestyle director 3. Okay. So this is actually a much bigger jump. LD1, LD2, as mentioned by our CEO, you can do it yourself. Some people just going back here. Okay. Some people, especially if they have a lot of contacts, they just put everything there, right? Everything there themselves. So that's what it means that you can do it yourself. Okay. Mhm. Now getting to LD3. Okay, by the way, before I go to LD3, this is exactly the reason why the moment that a new partner comes in, you really need to expose them to the trainings so that they can understand what's ahead of them. What's the next step? Okay. And of course, this will allow them to get excited about this opportunity, because as they see, when I go to the next step, there are more perks and privileges. And of course, as you build your team, what comes next? Of course, the higher your team commissions, right? Very important. That's why it's called team commissions, because the bigger your team, the bigger your income, right? All right. So that is very important. So remember, we are expanding and growing our business by growing our team. And that's exactly the reason why there is a structure for the rank advancement. Okay? So yeah, so it's also part of what we call leveraging. It's also part of what we call coaching and mentoring, so that when you have leaders in your organization, this will allow you to expand your business by having more and more partners becoming more independent from you. Okay? So that's exactly the reason why you need to bring them to the trainings, and of course the boot camps, and of course, mentoring and coaching is very important when it comes to your My5. Okay. So the reason why I say that is because from LD2 to becoming an LD3, this is a much bigger jump. Because LD1, LD2, you just need to follow the structure. But when it comes to the LD3, it's not just about structure, it's about also the team volume. Okay. There is a team volume requirement for this. Okay. So same mechanics. For you to become an LD3, you need to have at least, all right, at least 2 LD2s personally sponsored by you. Okay? So again, LD3, you have 2 personally sponsored lifestyle director 2s, of course, direct sponsored by you. And of course, at this time, it cannot happen on just one leg. Okay? This time, you really need to have 2 legs working for you. Okay? So the other LD2 should be on the left, and the other LD2 should be on the right. Now, there is a question here. Let's say, Rico, if let's say my direct, I have, of course, I said earlier, I have 2 directs, right? And those 2 directs, I need to work on them so that they can become promoted. So that when they get promoted, I will be promoted. Now, what if, let's say, the one on my right didn't work out, right? Let's say the one on my right who become an LA is just a user, or didn't work out the business for some reason, right? So how do I proceed with that? Remember, in our compensation plan, in our structure to get to the next level, you are not really contained to just two direct sponsors, right? So let's say if this didn't work out, you can sponsor another one. Okay, even if they are placed underneath, okay, it is still sponsored by you. And once that new partner that you have sponsored also become promoted to the next level, okay, so that then you can use, then it can also be used for your promotion. I hope you're getting me, right? So what I mean is you can sponsor as many as you can, but the minimum, okay, the minimum for you to be promoted to the next level is at least two lifestyle director twos for you to become an LD3. Okay, so if you have, let's say, five people that you have personally sponsored, all right, in your team, and two of them become lifestyle director twos, then the requirement for the structure to become an LD3 is met, right? But the next step there is you already have your two LD2s. Now, what you need to work on is, of course, the team volume that is needed for you to become LD3 is 45,000 CV. Okay, 45,000 CV. And then you say to me, Rico, that's a lot of volume. Yes, that's a lot of volume when you work on it alone. But if you have a team that is excited, that is in momentum, that is working with you, all right, then it wouldn't be much um, of a target, right? Why? Because you now have independent partners who are also working on their next level. That's the reason why for you to become an LD3, you need to really work on the promotions, not just of your direct sponsors, but as well as the promotions of your team down the line. All right. So I just want to share with you during the time of pandemic, we of course have our uh, Zoom calls happening. And, we thought initially that, since we're on a lockdown, the business will be harder, will be difficult, only to find out that when we're doing the Zooms, we were even tapping into areas we couldn't reach. That's the beauty about online, all right, during the time of pandemic. And so we have this lady all the way from Davao, which is basically a 2-hour flight from Manila. We have this lady who joined in, very much excited, always coming into the tours. And after that, she started sharing the opportunity, having new partners, building that momentum. And then after 3 months, okay, after 3 months, while working on Zoom, just on Zoom alone, and remember, it's a lockdown during that time, after 3 months, she called me up. All right? She called me up and say, Sir Rico, I think because of the performance report, she was looking at the volume at the back office, right? Rico, it seems like I'm already near the 4,500 CV. Okay? And she's already an LD2 by that time on the third month. And she said, I'm almost near. I think during the time she was around 37,000 CV already in team volume. And I was really surprised. And I said, how did this happen? And of course, when I trace back, when I look back, I see a lot of people, getting promoted to LD1s. I see a lot of people getting promoted to LD2s. I see a lot of people qualifying for the car club bonus. I see a lot of people qualifying for the MGRS. And that's how you build momentum. That's the reason why we need to share the excitement of what this compensation plan brings. Because the more people who are qualifying for bonuses and incentives, the more people who are, enjoying the retailing, enjoying the wholesale, enjoying the car club bonus, enjoying the MGRS. And this time we don't have variance bonus during the time, remember? Okay? So that's how it was built. And guess what? On the fourth month, okay, fourth month, while on a lockdown, this lady become an LD3, okay? And I'm referring, of course, you know who. Our first LD3 here in the Philippines, Miss Jocelyn Aquino. So there are several people who are, building and building and building, and that's the reason why she become LD3 in 4 months here in the Philippines during the pandemic time. Okay? So again, going back to the question, if you will be, doing this, it will really be hard. But if you have a team that works with you, you can qualify for this, especially before the month ends, before the year ends. You know why? Because there's a promotion for you when you become an LD3, right? So why not take advantage of that? So this time, the 45,000 CV, okay, look at this. The 45,000 CV, guess how many power cycles will you have by that time? So this doesn't just talk about the structure, it talks about, the volume, or the volume of your team, right? 45,000 CB. We don't want you to get to the next level and, doesn't make any sense when it comes to the income, right? So by becoming an LD3, you are now building up your team volume. It means that you have more and more partners who are also qualifying for the bonuses and commissions, right? So imagine in your team having multiple cruise qualifiers, having multiple MGRS qualifiers, having multiple car and vacation club bonus qualifiers. Okay? So the more people in your organization that are, hitting those different targets, then of course it pushes you up. Lifestyle Director 3. And when you become a Lifestyle Director 3, guess what? You will now be entitled to $1,000. Okay? You now have access. By the way, you now have access to the car club bonus, the car and vacation club bonus, $1,000 if you are an LD3. And on top of that, of course, the MGRS, the variance bonus as well. All right. And of course, you now get entitled to the summit. Okay. Summit qualified. All right. And of course, this gives you a level of distinction already. Lifestyle Director 3. Okay. And of course, so the summit. Okay. So becoming an LD4, of course, if you are already, building and having that momentum in your team, then becoming an LD4, this would need 450 PV, because we don't want you to miss on the 450 PV, especially when it comes to the MGRS, okay? And then, of course, and on top of that, you need to have at least 2 partners who are a minimum LD3, okay? So now that you are able to achieve the level of LD3, you can now mentor your partners to become LD3 as well. And when they become LD3, 2 of them at least, one on the left, one on the right, then this time, the volume requirement is at 150,000 CV. Okay? Guess how many power cycles will you be enjoying once you reach this level, right? And the great thing about this promotion, all of our promotions, is that when a team volume requirement is needed, so it doesn't have any limit to the levels. So this means that all of the team volume up to the infinity, through infinity, is computed for your volume, team volume. Okay? So there's no limit to the levels. Okay? Up until through infinity, the total volume, okay, that becomes a part of your promotion. Okay? So that's the beauty about this promotion. Okay? And then, of course, the Presidential Lifestyle Director. Okay? So for the Presidential Lifestyle Director, you now will be entitled to the Infinity Bonus. Okay? Infinity Bonus. Right? So Infinity Bonus is additional, I believe that's 0.5% up until down the line. Okay? So the way for you to do that is the same mechanic. You have 2 LD4s and then a total volume of 750,000 CV. All right. So imagine again, how many power cycles or binary commissions will you be enjoying by that time? Okay. And lastly, the Royal Lifestyle Director, same requirement for the personal volume, 450 PV. And of course, you need to have at least 2 personally sponsored PLD or Presidential Lifestyle Director down the line. And this time, you need to have at least 1.5 million CV. Okay. And of course, this entitles you to the Fairy Mosh Ring or the Presidential Watch. That's one of the Opulence Club incentives. Okay. And of course, the exotic vacation, that's also part of it. Okay. So that's basically how you rank up to the next level. the thing there for you to remember, okay, is that in order for me to get promoted, I need to help at least two of my direct sponsors also get to the next level. And when that happens, I am pushed up, all right? I get promoted to the next level as well. Okay? So that's how you rank advance. Okay? Now, why rank advance? Because as mentioned earlier, part of it is, of course, for you to enjoy your opulence car and vacation club bonus. So imagine multiple streams of income. You're earning from retail, you're earning from wholesale, you're earning from personal team bonus, you're earning from MGRS, you're earning from team commissions, you're earning from. So when you look at your e-wallet, guess what? When you look at your e-wallet, what you see there is, of course, oh, every Tuesday I have my team commissions, my binary commissions. Every 15th of the month, I have my MGRS, my revenue sharing. Every 15th of the month, I also have my car and vacation club bonus. All right. And then every Friday, I have my commission boost. Every 15th of the month, I also have my variance bonus. All right. So just imagine multiple streams of income by just doing one business opportunity. Okay. So in here, for the car and vacation club bonus, again, the minimum rank that can enjoy this is at least a lifestyle director one. Okay. So, yes. So, one thing about the car and vacation club bonus is that the maximum that we give here is the range actually is from $500 to 4,000 Canadian dollars. All right. So of course, you can also. How does this work? By the way, the car club bonus. So the car club bonus, there is a form in your back office. So when you become an LD1 and when you qualify for the car club bonus, there's a form in your back office that you need to fill out. Because if you have a car that is relatively new, let's say 3 years or newer, okay, a car that is 3 years or newer, then you can apply this. Okay, you can apply this for your car club bonus. Okay. By the way, let me just check. Am I coming clear? Can you send me some messages here? All right. Because I think my okay, thank you so much, Fedeline. Yes, thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, Maria. Mavis, thank you so much. All right, because my screen keeps on flickering and my internet connection was down a while ago, so I'm just double checking, okay? If I still have someone to talk here, to talk to here. All right. So anyway, the way you can claim this car club bonus is again through cash. Okay. So you just need to go to your back office, fill up the form, and also send in the documents for your the car that it will be applied to. Now, if you don't have a car that is 3 years or newer, then you can go for the shopping credits. Okay, shopping credit means that you can basically use your shopping credits to purchase the product. Okay, so when you use the when you opt to get it as a shopping credit, the amount of the car club bonus now becomes double in retail value. So a lot of our partners are taking advantage of this because, of course, if they have their set of customers already, they might want to avail of the shopping credits, because instead of a $500 for the LD1, I get $1,000 in shopping credits. So those $1,000 shopping credits in retail value, once I purchase it for products and then I serve my customers with those products, then I get double the amount, right? So that's another way for you to claim it. If you don't have a car that is newer, then you can go for the shopping credits. Now, another way, let's say if you don't want to use it for shopping credits, and of course you don't want to use it for the car, then you can also redeem it through what we call the vacation bonus. Okay, vacation bonus. Now, this means that you can accumulate, okay, because you cannot still withdraw it, because if you don't have a car and you don't want to use it for a product or a shopping credit, then you can accumulate it, okay, accumulate it over a period of time. Let's say month 1 you have 500, month 2 you have 500, month 3 you have another 500. Let's say after 6 months, okay, after 6 months of qualifying for the LD1 car club bonus, you basically have how much already? Okay, so that's $3,000 that is available for you. And you want to say, you know what, I want to spend this and bring my team to a vacation spot, to a team building. Okay. Or bring my family. Okay, so you can use it for your personal vacation. Okay, the only requirement there is that, of course, you need to show people how, you are thankful that you are utilizing this vacation club. Okay, so that it can also inspire other people that, this vacation is being paid for by my business. Okay, so that's another way for you to redeem. Now we have that kind of flexibility when it comes to the car and vacation club bonus because we do not know what's important for you. Okay, so it may be, of course, a car, it may be a vacation, or it may be, of course, when it comes to your shopping credits, the products. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put in your questions here. Now, how do I qualify for the car club bonus? First and foremost, you need to become an LD1. Okay, so by becoming an LD1, if you're able to do this, then this qualifies you for the Car Club bonus premium level up to $500 per month. So remember the MGRS that we talked about. Okay, so remember about the progression. So you do retail to your customers so that you can build your customer base, encourage your customers to become partners, and once they become partners, guess what? Okay, so now you have new people in your team working with you. And when you do your 450 PV and you have a new LAP, it will already allow you to, it will already, make you MGRS qualified, right? MGRS qualified. So when you are already MGRS qualified, guess what? You already have your new LA minimum, right? So the requirement for the car club bonus is you also have you have a new LA minimum here. Now, the great thing about our compensation plan is you don't need another one for the car club bonus. The LA that you had when you qualify for the MGRS can also be used for this car club bonus. Isn't that amazing, right? So it's not a new set of requirements. It's an additional. A lot of people say that it's hitting two birds with one stone. All right. So you have your 450 PV here, which is also a part of the NGRS. You also have your new LA launch or LAP or LADE launch here, which is also part of your MGRS. Now, this time you just need to focus on your team volume, right? If you are MGRS qualified and you have a minimum of 7,500 CV team volume down the line through Infinity, and of course, we also have that 1/3, 2/3, minimum 2,500 CV on your one leg, okay? Then you qualify for the car club bonus, okay? So again, that's an additional incentive for you. I just want to share with you at this time, one of the things that I do is I master the art of, writing this compensation plan down in a sheet of paper. Okay, other call it as a tissue presentation, right? So I write there, the different packages and then the different advantages of the packages. And then why do you need to do this package? Because number one, retail profit. I show them how much retail profit can they generate once they have 100 customers, 10 customers, 50 customers, 100 customers. Now, out of those customers, the next step is I write wholesale profit. So wholesale profit, once these new customers become your partners, let's say if you have 10 of them joining you as an LAP or LAD, I write down there, 10 new LAs will give you $3,000 wholesale profit, right? So once you have these new partners working with you, we bring them into the system, we bring them to the trainings, and once they start building their own business as well, then this happens. Number 3, team commissions, okay? So in the team commissions, I write there, if you have 5,400 CV, volume of your team, then you get a power cycle bonus. Now, if your team continuously grows, then 10 power cycles, that will give you $4,000. All right? And 100 power cycles will give you what? $40,000 in team commissions, power cycle bonus. And then that's it. And then we also have the car club bonus. So when you qualify for an MGRS, when you have the MGRS, then you get additional shares. And when you get car bonus, you get this $500 minimum dollars. So all they see in the sheet of paper is the different income streams that they can generate. And guess what it will do to your new partners or to your prospects, right? They can see that, wow, this business is really something that I can work on, something that they will get excited because they see the different streams of income that they can receive, right? That they can achieve. Okay? So just a side comment for you. But anyway, so in here, the same LA, LAP, or LADE that you use for your MGRS, the same volume, personal volume that you used for 50 PV for the MGRS this time, you just need to work on your team volume. Okay? And probably you can see here also the 750 PGV, personal group volume. So what is PGV? These are the volume generated by your first level. Okay? Especially if your level ones are all active, they're on smart buy, whatever they buy, whatever they sell. Okay, so that becomes your PGV as well. Okay, so usually when this happens, this is nothing to be concerned about. So um, based on experience, it naturally happens. So you don't have to worry about it. So once you qualify for this, then you are already premium level qualified for the car and vacation club bonus. Okay. All right, so for the executive level, same requirement, this time a higher PV, 550 PV, and then at least a minimum LA launch, okay? And then this time a higher team volume at 15,000 CV, minimum 5,000 on one leg, okay? So this will entitle you to $750 in your cash, in your car bonus, okay? And by the way, it's also cash deposited in your e-wallet every 15th of the month, okay? So, yeah, so the same PGV as well, okay? So why do we need this? Remember, this is for the car club bonus that gives you a higher incentive, right? But what we want to focus on here is really your lifelong residual income. All right. So these are just additional. The car club bonus, the MGRS is just additional. But what we really want for you to achieve is to have that lifelong residual income. We want you to focus on building your team because when you build your team, then there will be volume that will be coming in, right? So this time it's 15,000 CV minimum. Of course, you enjoy the team commissions out of that 15,000 CV from your team, and you get an additional $750 for your car and vacation club bonus. When you claim for shopping credits, that's 1,500 $1,500 in retail value. Okay, so that's amazing, right? 1,500 just for the car club bonus, for the shopping credits or the in retail value. Okay. And then next is LD3. Requirement is 750 PV. Okay. And then a minimum of one LA. And then, of course, 60,000 CV. Okay. 60,000 CV, minimum 20,000 on one team. Okay. And this time, 1,000 PGV. And you get the luxury level up to $1,000 for the car or vacation club bonus and $2,000 if you opt to get it in shopping credits. Okay. And so, Lifestyle Director for $1,500 per month. When you launch at least one LA, LAP, or LADE, same PV as the LD3, 750 PV, but this time it all depends on your total volume, which is 150,000 CV. Okay? So that is the next one. And then, of course, the presidential 1,000 PV, one LA, LAP, or LADE, and this time you just need to look at the team volume. Okay, so same is true for the Royal Lifestyle Director, just for the team volume. Okay, so same requirement, only for the team volume. This time it's 1.5 million CV. Okay, do we have any questions so far? Please do let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so yes. And of course, what I have said earlier, once you get to the next level for the rank advancement, as an LD2, you can qualify for the luxury cruises and events. So how do I qualify for that? Okay, so it all starts by you becoming a lifestyle director 2. Okay, so lifestyle director 2 now have access to the cruise. Now, how do I qualify for the cruise? No, so what you need to do is, of course, accumulate at least a minimum of 40,000 CV. Now, when they say accumulate, it is from the time that you become a partner, when you launch your LA, okay? From the time you launch your LA up to the current, okay? Up to the current day. If you have already a total of 40,000 CV, okay? In your team, this is team volume, by the way, team volume, okay? and you are already an LD2, then you get to qualify for a free cruise. Woohoo! We only stopped doing cruise this year because we are really really focused on our grand office opening, and of course our next year for Dubai. So we have a lot of things that are happening right now. So make sure this is still ongoing, okay? So it doesn't stop. The great thing about the cruise is that once you have achieved it, you are now looking for the next schedule of the cruise. Okay? And by the way, the great thing about this Opulence Club incentives is that it continuously runs. Because I have seen also in other companies that they have just a certain period that this program is running. Otherwise, you're no longer you can qualify if the program is not running, right? Now this one is continuously running, so meaning any time of the day, any time of the year, you can work it out, right? So that's the thing about that. And by the way, another thing, what you need to appreciate when it comes to the car club bonus, let me get back to that. I can't help but to um, share this with you. Okay, so for the car club bonus, it doesn't matter if down the line you also have people qualifying for car club bonuses. Okay, once you achieve the requirements that I have showed you earlier, okay, you can still qualify. The reason I say that is that in most of the compensation plans that I have seen, especially that I have been with, okay, whenever they will qualify, whenever let's say I will qualify for a car club bonus and someone qualifies under my team, okay, I am no longer entitled to the volume, okay, to the volume generated by the one who qualifies under my team. So it is excluded. The volume of my team who qualifies is excluded from my qualifying volume. Why? Because they cannot pay double dipping, right? They have already paid the one down the line, and so I will not receive it anymore. I have to work a new one. So what happens there is that the behavior is that I wouldn't want my team qualifying for the car club bonus, because if they would qualify, the volume will not be credited to me. Okay? Now this is what's exciting about the car club bonus here in Opulence. It doesn't matter how many people in your team qualifies for the car club bonus. Okay? It all becomes a part of your qualifying volume. So there's really not just double dipping, but multiple dipping. Okay? So meaning the same volume that is used, that rewards your team, is the same volume that will reward you as well. I hope you understand how blessed we are. When we say that, our compensation plan is very generous, how our compensation plan is very lucrative. It really is, because it really is. Okay? All right. Wow. And of course, when you become LD3, you get this exotic vacations. Okay? And then LD4, luxury vacations for presidential lifestyle director, first class travel, and private jet travel. Okay? So now, oops, time flies so fast. So I'll end up with this. So if you have any questions when it comes to the rank advancement, this is the best time for you to, raise your questions. And of course, why do you also need to be promoted? Not just, when you find that when you decide to get promoted, by why do you need to get promoted right now? Because on top of this exciting perks and privileges, and top of the compensation plan that we also have, of course, our Build Assist promotions that is currently ongoing. And I would like to end up with that. I will share with you, of course, our existing promotions that are running. Let me just pull up my screen. All right, here you go. All right, because some people are asking about this promotion, and I know that this is discussed every call that we have when it comes to the announcement deck, right? But of course, this is the time for you to raise your questions as well. So this Promo bonanza, first and foremost, is the cash rebate on all products. So this means that whenever you make purchases, okay? Shopping credit's not included, by the way. But if you purchase any products in your online shop, okay, this promotion runs from up until July 31. Okay, so this is currently ongoing up until July 31 for all of your purchases on all products. Okay, automatic, you will receive cash rebate. Now, this excludes, okay, particularly Thailand and Laos, because the thing here, the reason behind this is because we know we have received feedback that when they use their credit card, there are certain, bank charges and everything. So as a way for us to give back as well, we give this 5% cash rebate on all product purchases that is being used if you use credit card and opulence currency. Okay? Because for Philippines, Thailand, and Laos, we usually cash bank transfer. Okay, but for other parts of the world, if you're using credit card and opulence currency, then you will receive your 5% cash rebate on all products. Now, promotion two is the top mall rewards. You can get up to 10% cash back. Okay, so how does that happen? You remember the mall statuses, all right? The gold, the platinum, and the diamond, and the black level. Okay, when you qualify for that, then you can get 1 to 10% cash back. Okay, depending on your mall status. Now, how do you qualify with the mall statuses? What happens here is all of the volumes that you have generated over the past 3 months, the average of that becomes your becomes the becomes it is the one being used, okay, to compute what your mall status is. Okay, so basically, if you have a 3-month average of $450 per month, you will now be qualified as a gold, okay, gold level status. Okay, if you have a 3-month average of $1,000 per month, then you will now be classified as a platinum level status. Of course, you will now be entitled for the 4%. Okay, so, and if you are qualified with $2,500 per month, okay, 3-month average $2,500 per month, then you will be classified as a diamond level status, and you will now be entitled to 7% extra cashback. Okay, and then for the 10%, you need to become a black level status, meaning every month you are at the average of $5,000 per month. Now, what is those amount, right? The 5,000, the 2,500. These are all revenues generated in your e-mall. When I say revenues, this includes, of course, your customer sales, your launches, okay? This also includes your tickets purchased, sales tools purchased. So all of the transactions, all right, in your e-mall, okay, all of the launches, all of the revenues that comes in, this is what is counted in the mall statuses. Okay, so let me just also read the guidelines here so that it will be clear to you. So the promo runs from June 24 to July 31, and discounts are not cumulative. Cashback only applies to products and shopping credits purchases, excluding purchases of OC. So when you purchase using your OC, so that is not counted. Promo product event tickets, so it excludes shipping taxes, VAT, and duties if applicable. So basically, what we compute here are the net revenue sales. Okay, so this doesn't include if it's subject to tax. Cashback will be deposited into the e-wallet on the 15th of the following month. Okay, so same as with the um, variance bonus and the MGRS. So whatever cashback that you have generated for the previous month, it will be credited on your e-wallet on the 15th of the month. Extra cashback applies only to malls that have achieved gold status or higher as of August 1, 2025, and will be deposited on August 15. Statuses are based on 3-month average, as I've said earlier, based on what they buy, what they sell, and of course, their personal volume. Okay? So that is basically our status double promo bonanza. Okay? And the next one is, of course, our super yacht event qualification. Wow. So I'm looking really forward to this, especially for those who will be coming in to our grand office opening. Okay, so you can qualify for an exclusive day aboard a super yacht on Toronto's stunning waterfront. And I have seen the video of our CEO just really, really sharing with us how this is really what makes an opulent living, right? So champagne skies, luxury vibes, and once in a lifetime memories being a part of that opulent club, right? So this is something that you can also work as you go to the grand office opening. Now, for those who are not gonna come, no, our CEO mentioned that we will have the same value, okay, that can be when you achieve the super yacht event qualification. If you are not coming to the grand office opening into Canada, you can have, we will find a same value for your local market as well, okay, something that you can, enjoy it opulently, okay, so to speak. Okay, so for the black and diamond status level qualifiers by August 5, maintain $450 smart buy. Okay, so this is for, of course, our black level and, of course, our diamond level, all black and diamond status small qualifiers automatically. Okay, if you are qualifying as a black level and a diamond level status, then you are automatically qualified for this. Another option is for you to launch 3 personal LA. Okay, so starting today up until um, the end of July, okay? And any single month of May, June, or July, maintain a $450 smart buy as well, okay? 450 PV, okay? So in any single month of May, June, or July, maintain, when you launch 3 personal LA or above in 1 month, okay? So this means that for this month of July, your target is at least 3 minimum LAs, okay? This month, okay? This month, 3 minimum LAs, and automatically you can qualify for that super yacht event qualification. Another option is active platinum status small qualifiers, qualified trainers, or LD2 and above, okay? And above. So this means the option 3 is open to all active platinum, okay? At least at the platinum level qualifiers, okay? And qualified trainers, okay? And or LD2 and above. So those are 3 different qualifications, meaning if you are a platinum mall qualifier, or if you are a QT qualified trainer, or if you are an LD2 and above, okay, who, okay, launch a total of 3 LAP during May, June, or July and maintain a 450 PV, then you also qualify, okay? So this means that 3 LA or LAPs, okay, during May, June, and July. So a total of 3 LAs during May, June, and July. So this doesn't mean that you need to only accomplish this in 1 month. So for those period, May to July, okay? So if you are able to have 3 minimum LAs, then, and you have 450 PV, then that's another option for you. Another option is you rank advance from LD1 to LD2. Okay? Wow. This is the simpler one. Okay? So rank advance to LD2. That's it. So this means that if you get promoted to LD2, great, good thing that we discussed this, no? Up until July 31, so you still have time, okay? Becoming an LD2 can be done in 1 month or even less than 1 month. So that's another way for you to qualify for the super yacht event. And another option, so there are basically different ways for you to qualify here. Each new LA or above launch in April, May, June, and July, get 1 ballot for a chance to win your spot on the yacht and maintain at least a 450 PV. So that's the reason why in each of these items, one requirement is very much needed, which is the 450 PV. And for those of you who just, launch as an LA or above within April to July, you will get 1 ballot for a chance to win your spot on the yacht, okay? As long as you're on 150 PV. So there are different ways for you to qualify for this. So make sure that actually, this is available in your dashboard, okay? And then on your dashboard, just click on the promotions. So when you click on the promotions, all of the details are provided there, okay? And of course, let me just go to the last promotion, Worldwide Rank Advancement. So for those of you, okay, who will be promoted, okay, to LD3 before the end of this year, especially for those people who are outside of Canada, this is a very enticing promotion to each and every one of you, because above and beyond of all those that I have shared a while ago, when you become an LD3, right? All the perks and privileges. On top of that, the first two partners who become promoted at an LD3 in your market, okay, in your market, will receive what? A 3-day visit to the iconic Toronto Ferry Gallery and Opulence Global Tour. And of course, flights included here. Imagine that, right? Flights included here. Okay? So now this is your chance to be invited to Canada and be able to witness this amazing ferry gallery and Opulence Global head office. Okay? So that's about it. These are the exciting promotions that are ongoing right now. Do we have any questions? Let me check. Let me stop my sharing here. Okay, we have gone a bit of an overtime here. Okay, so I do hope that this clarifies all the things when it comes to the rank advancement as well as for the promotion. So my message is this is the best time for you to work on your next level. And how do I get to the next level? Work with your team. Help your team get to the next level as well. And with that, I hope that you were enlightened, and I hope that you were able to learn all of those things in order for you to grow your business. So the key here is always never miss on trainings. Always get excited, all right? Trainings recharge you. Trainings refresh you. And when you bring your team into the trainings as well, then they are now exposed to the excitement that you are exposed to, right? So duplication is the key. So make sure that you work out your promotions this coming months, set it and declare it and commit to it, because it all starts with your vision of getting to the next level, and make that decision. Make that decision. All right, so that being said, thank you so much, everyone. May you have an amazing week ahead of you. May you have, of course, a fruitful week. More customers, more partners, and more lives being changed each and every single day. That being said, thank you, team, one dream, one system, building the billion. Have an amazing week, team. Thank you.